started. Hope you're all well on this fine sunny morning. Okay, so we're going to start. You can do this seated or standing. We're going to start some nice big breaths in. Reach it up, really stretch it out. Okay, and again. Again, you're going to go to your ability, making sure that you're pain-free. Okay, obviously if you're new to this or you've had some surgery, make sure you check with your health professional before you actually start.
Joanne.
Hi Joe. So make sure you, as I say, you're fit and well to start. Make sure you check with your health professional if you've had any surgery. Obviously stay in a nice pain-free range of movement. So big breath in. So we're going to do a lot of movement today and a nice lot of stretching, because that's our first thing. Okay, so we're going to get those shoulders rolling. So those of you who are a bit more able will get a nice stretch and workout out of this. Okay, opposite way. Okay, you can still take it to your own level. You need a couple of small weights today. Okay, water bottles, tins, that's well, you know, whatever you can find. If you've got some small weights, we're going to snatch. So if you've got any small, even any small plates or weight plates, that is. Okay, so arms in and out. So change the arm at the top each time. You can get your breathing going with this. So you're breathing out and then in. So you can try and get that breath to the belly. So again, you can do this seated or standing. And then we're going to get those arms up and down. Okay, so we're going to get those hands on hips and get those hips going round. So if you're seated, what you're going to do is you're going to move the top of your body round. Okay, so it's exactly the same. Still getting that movement in the hips, it's just coming from a different angle. Okay, so if you're standing, you're going to get those nice big circles in. Okay, opposite way. Okay, then we're going to try and get the movement in the knees. So if you're seated, all you're going to do is just move your knees backwards and forwards and roll over those ankles. Obviously, if you're standing, if you guys have trained with me before, you'll know, keep your feet flat on the floor if you can, because it's going to give you that ankle movement as well, and then opposite way. Okay, then we're going to put a toe on the floor and make a big circle with the heel. Okay, I've got Steve behind the camera this morning moving, looking after me. Okay, and opposite and opposite way. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of stress on the ankle. So all you're going to do is you're going to put one foot in front of the other, so still you can do that seated, and I want you to push that weight over that front foot. So you're making sure that your hip isn't kicking out, okay, and that the knee's pushing in. So you're going to squeeze your bum, just stretch over that ankle. Okay, you're going to hold that for a count of 10. So if you're seated, you're going to keep going. You're going to bring your foot back as far as you can, lean your weight forward. Okay, changing sides. So you're going to lean that weight forward. Try again. You're going to still make sure, even if you're seated, that that hip and knees in line with that toe. Okay, now we're going to take the leg out. So if you stood, you're going to sit back on this leg, dig that heel into the floor, pull that toe up towards your chest. Again, you can do that exactly the same position seated. Stretch that leg out, hold that. So push your bum back. It's going to stretch those hamstrings. Okay, opposite way. Opposite side rather, opposite way. Okay, so stretch the quads. We're going to push forward. Okay, you're going to stand up nice and tall. You're going to lift your leg. If you can get hold of your foot, you're going to hold that. Oops. Get your knees together. Squeeze that bum cheek. Stretch that quad. So if you sat, all you're going to do is lift your leg up. Okay, you're going to hold that instead. Okay, still going to give you a little bit of stretch in that quad, and then to push the knee down, it'll give you that little bit of stretch. Okay, so it depends where you are, how much you can do that. So change sides, okay? If you're stood and you need a little bit of balance, use a chair, worktop, whatever to stand. Get hold of the foot. Ooh, stretch. Okay, so now we're going to stretch out to the side. So if you're seated, you're going to bring your leg in and you're going to push over to the side, okay? So you're going to get a little bit of stress there, just on the inside of the thigh. Obviously, if you're standing, you're going to step out into that lunge and hold that stretch. So you're going to get a nice stretch down the inner thigh. And again, we're going to work, that's working that ankle mobility over there. Hello, Fred. Little fitness mascot, aren't you, mate? With your little question mark tail, because you're a little happy pussycat, aren't you? Okay, so you change sides. Nice stretch down that inner thigh. Okay, bringing it up. Now what we're going to do is you're going to take your left arm and you're going to come across to your right thigh. So we're getting a nice rotational stretch in there. Try and keep your chest up, try not to collapse forward. Try and keep it up and bring it across. Okay, so if you're seated, you can do exactly the same. You're going to take it to wherever you can get to. Opposite side. Okay, bringing it back up. Okay, so now we're going to take it to a shoulder rotation stretch. So again, if you're seated or you're standing, if you haven't got much mobility in your arms and your shoulders, you can clasp it across your waist and turn. Okay, so if you're more able, you can do this as your warm up. Okay, so we're going to go for 3 times of 6. 5, 6. Okay, next one. If you're a bit more able, hands on shoulders, I think most of you have seen this before, elbows up as high as you can and turn. Okay, so you can do this standing as well, but seated does help you to anchor your hips down. 5, 6. And then the last one, if you can, if not, you're going to stay wherever you are, wherever your position is. You're going to bring those hands to the shoulders, get those elbows back and rotate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so and then all we're going to do is the one that I know a lot of you that train with me will know this one. When you're laying down and you've got your arms up, but what we're going to do is we're going to do it seated or standing. It's entirely up to you, so you can stand and do it and rotate round. So you're still going to keep that arm right. As soon as that arm wants to bend, that's where you stop. Okay, so if you're seated, you can anchor your hips a little bit more, but we're just going to get that rotational movement in there. So, okay, relax, and then we're going to do that one again. Okay, so you just so as soon as that arm wants to start to bend, you're coming back to centre. Okay, and then we're going to rotate those shoulders back and down. Put our hands on into the, so heel of hands is the bottom of rib cage if you can. If not, you're going to just bring them behind you. And we're going to stretch that chest. And relax. Okay, so grab yourselves a drink. Then we're going to start get things ramped up a little bit. Okay, so if you are... Here, so I can read that from there. If you are more able, okay, you are going to bring this into a jog, okay. If not, you're going to take it to a nice march, okay. So making sure that your feet are facing forwards, okay, that you're just getting that nice, everything's in line, okay. If you're seated, we're just going to lift nice and gently and make that step from the seat, okay. So it's entirely up to you how far you go. Okay, so we're going to get a nice march on. Let's get those arms swinging. Start to get the heart rate raised up a little bit. So I say you can take this into a jog. If you want to, that's fine. I'm not going to because I can't talk when I'm jogging. I'm not very well. Okay, but he's looking at that. Look at your form. Look at how much your knees and hips are in line, that the feet are facing forward, that you're not standing with your feet stuck out or even pigeon sit. Okay, so nice. Okay, so let's get those arms going. Okay, so now we're going to bring that, if you're marching, you're going to slow it down and bring that knee up. If you are jogging, you're going to do a high knee. So you're going to bring it up, 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 as high as you can. So same if you're seated, you're going to bring that up as high as you can. If you need to slow that down, that's fine. If you're jogging, you're going to take that to a high knee. Okay, then we're going to take it back to the march. Okay, so we're going to get those arms going again. Okay, this time we're going to lift the heel, just to make sure I'm not going to kick that chair. Okay, so if you're seated, you're going to lift your heel as much as you can behind you. Okay, so I'm just going to come to the side and you're just going to lift that heel. So if you're jogging, you're going to make that a heel kick. Okay, so keep that going. So you're consciously looking at how far can you lift that foot. I know it's a bit difficult if you're seating, if you're on a settee and you can't lift your foot behind you, but you just do what you can. Okay, if you're jogging, take that back to a march. Okay. Okay, so the last one, what we're going to do is you're going to slow it down. Even if you're jogging, you can slow it down. You're going to lift and squeeze. Same if you're seated, you're going to squeeze and hold that. Okay, again, step up, squeeze and hold. Okay, so those arms should be nice and warm now. Let's get some big circles going. And forward. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is some Saturday night fevers. You guys all know that. So grab yourselves a drink. Get your weights if you need them, if you haven't got them, for the next sit bit that we're going to do. And I'm just going to run and turn that buzzer off. There you go, that proves it's live. We're preparing stuff for lunch. Right. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, I'll show you it's seated first. Okay, is Saturday Night Fever. So you guys that have trained with me will know this one. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to reach down. So you're going to start with your left arm in the air. You are going to turn, this is a seated one, I'll show you the standing one as well. You're going to reach down for your right foot and drive it up. Oh, mind that, mind the clock. Reach down, drive up. Reach down, drive up. So you're staying on the same side, so you're going to get that, keep that chest nice and high. Get that rotation in, which is why we did those rotational stretches. Okay, if you are standing, it's going to be a turning lunge. So I want you to get down into that lunge position. So you're going to start with your left arm in the air. Okay, you are going to turn, drop that knee down. Okay, so can you see nicely in line? Drop that knee down, chest high, drive it back up. So you're pivoting on those feet. Okay, driving it back up. Okay, so arm nice and high, chest nice and high, working that lunge. Okay, if you're doing it seated, so we're going to go for 30 seconds one side, 20 seconds break, 30 seconds the other. Okay, so are we ready?
You have to go back and do it, I think.
Yeah, okay. And we're going to go through, we are going to go through this 3 times. Okay, so you're going to go, if it's cardio you want, you're going to go as fast as you can on this, but I want you to maintain form. I want you to get right down on that, on the floor if you can. Okay, let's go. 3, 2, so off we go. So if you're seated, you're going to reach it across and back, across and back, across and back. Okay, I'll show you the other one standing. The guys that are doing it standing have probably been with me before, but if you're seated, you can still do this. You can still get quite a lot of energy in, keeping that chest up, reaching down. Okay, rest. Why is that not dinging? There's no volume on it. Okay, you're going to get ready to go to the other side. Okay, so I'll show you the standing one. You're going to get ready to the other side. 3, 2, 1, off we go. So you're reaching down, driving up. Reaching down, drive up. That's it. Try and get those feet nicely in line. Keep it going. So you say, you look pivoted on that foot, keeping those knees nicely in line, drive it up, your pace. And rest. Okay, so that's round 1 done. Have a few more seconds rest. We can take it an extra couple of seconds past the 20 seconds, grab yourself a drink. Okay, so it's going to be a nice quick blast this morning. Okay, I've got my tins ready for my weights, but you can also use, I've got a water bottle here that we used for, I'll change that now. I've got a water bottle here that I used the other day for the balance, so you can use that sort of thing as well, or just bottles of water. But what I would do is take the top up, because you're going to be slinging them about a little bit, okay? Right, are we ready for set 2? So back to your original leg, back onto those Saturday Night Fevers, arm in the air, ready? Are we ready? 3, 2, 1, off you go. Okay, so arm in the air, ready? Turn it down, drive up. Okay, let's now have that hand on the other thigh, or the other hand on the thigh, helping you up. I want you to keep it, keep that balance, keep it going. Whoops. Last few seconds. Okay, so I'll show you the seated one again. Okay, so chest is stayed nice and high, back stayed nice and straight. Okay, getting ready for that other side. 2, 1, let's go. And up. So keeping that chest up, try not to collapse it over. Just keep it up. Opposite hand, opposite leg. Okay, so if you're struggling with your shoulder mobility, you can tap your shin or even your knee and just bring your arm back. Tap your shin, bring your arm back. Tap your shin, bring your arm back. It's entirely up to wherever you are. Okay, the last few seconds. We're just going to make the most of this. Okay, rest. We have got 1 more set of those to do. So if you are more able, I hope you're puffing and panting a little bit by now. Okay, we'll give it a few more seconds after this. It's going to run on to click onto a rest time, but we'll cut that down. Okay, we have got 1 more set of these to do on this side, on this cycle. Okay. Going to get you moving. So this is working your rotation, working single leg, working your arm, okay? Right, let's reset. Are we ready for this last set? Okay, I'm going to do the seated one first this time. Ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, coming down, driving up. So you're going to wherever you can get to. What I like is that, hello friend, is that rotation. That's what we're looking at, is that nice chest up, rotational work. Okay, so you're going as far as you can. You can get all the way down and come up. That's brilliant. Okay, I want this to try and suit everybody, these sessions. Okay, so 20 seconds rest. We're going to go to the other side. Three, 2, with the arm in the air. Off we go. Reaching it down. Driving up. Reach down. Pivot it up. Reaching it down. Okay, so you're getting a pivot on that foot. Both those feet to come to that side facing lunge position. Okay, keeping that chest up. Okay, back nice and flat. Try not to round it so you're reaching down with a flat back. Okay. Okay, rest. Okay, and a little bit of a rest we are going to go on to the next thing. Well, I'll show you the next one. Grab yourselves a drink. This is when you're going to need your 2 little weights. Okay, again, you're going to be able to do this seated or standing. Okay, what I want you to think about if you're standing is not pushing your belly out just stop that. Right, it's not pushing your belly out, it's to stand nice and tall. You've got to think about that yoga golden thread going through you. So you're lifting yourself up nice and tall, okay? And if you can, depending on what weights you've got, you are going to come up, out, in, down, okay? So you're going to roll your shoulders, try and keep your shoulders back and down, up, out, in, down. Try not to shrug up or let your shoulders round, okay? If you're seated and you're struggling with mobility, all you're going to do, even if it's without the weight, okay, if you're struggling with your shoulder mobility, you're going to bring up, out, in, down. Just depends where you are with your mobility, okay? So we're going to go for 30 seconds again so that you can go as fast or as slow as you like, because it just depends on what weights you've got. If you've got heavier weight, you're going to obviously be that little bit slower. Okay, so rather than counting them and then people not being able to keep up if they're a bit heavier or that it's too slow for them, we will go through time, so you're going to get in what you can. So I'll show you the seated absolute body weight, just moving version first, and then you guys that are training with me know the up, out, in, down. So just remember up, out, in, down, up, out, in, down. Okay, which I'll keep reminding you of. Right, we have got 30 seconds of these. Okay, are we ready? 3, 2, 1. Off you go. Up, out, in, down. Think about your form. Suck your tummy in. Out, in, down. Squeeze that bum cheek. Squeeze those bum cheeks. Give yourself a really nice solid base. So up, out, in, down. So again, if you're struggling with your mobility, can't get your arms straight, you're just going to do what you can. You're just going to move to wherever you can. So you're going to bring the arms up, out, in, down. Okay, rest. 20 seconds rest, we're going to go again. Okay, so I'm going to show you the extended version. So again, if you're struggling, you're just going to bring them up, out, in, down. If your weights are really heavy, you're just going to bend your arms, rotate out, okay? But if you can get them straight, we'd really like that. Okay, so nice and tall, up, out, in, down. Okay, chest high, up, out, in, down. Okay, squeeze that tummy in. You can still get that tension, squeeze those bum cheeks. You can use the tension in the bottom of your body. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Okay, rest. Okay, so that's 2, depending on where you are. So we've got 3 lots of these to go through today. Okay, so it depends how fast you can go. You can go as fast or as slow as you like, but I want you to look at that form. I want you to keep that body, that lower body solid, okay? Give yourself a nice solid base. If you sat, you've got that solid base, but I don't want you to wobble your legs around, okay? So give it a few seconds and then we're going to go again. Okay, so I'm going to do the seated one this time with the weight, and then I'll come up and do the standing one, which is the easier version. Okay, so you're at whatever level you're at. I know I keep saying it, but you're at whatever level you're at. Okay, and don't forget, you're really staying in a pain-free range of motion on here with shoulders. Also, if you've had surgery, make sure that you are checked with your health professional. But you're going to move to wherever you can. Okay, are we ready? Okay, so I'm going to do the seated one. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we are up, out, in, down, up, out, in, down. And your hand position will depend on what sort of weight you've got. So you can hold them over the top. Or you can hold them, depending on, you know, you can have your arms out. Okay, rest. Okay. 20 seconds, oh, 10 seconds, we're going to go again. So again, I'm just going to show you the medium range if you're doing this standing. Okay, if you can't extend your arms fully, all you're going to do, I'll show you the rotation. Okay, so you're going to come up, out, in, down, up, out, in, down. So if your weights are really heavy, and you haven't got any alternative, you can use this one. Okay, and again, you're rotating to your ability. Okay, try and keep those shoulders back. Last few seconds. Okay. So we've got one more round of these to go. And then we've got one more thing to do, and then we're going to blend it all together. Make it a bit of a circuit for you. Okay. So a couple of seconds, grab yourself a drink. So I say, if you've got light weight, you need to be going bang, bang, that sort of pace, yeah? Okay, because it's still going to give you that movement. You clench your fists, clench whatever weight, if you've got a light weight. Again.
Lynn. Yeah. Harvey.
Yeah. So, hi Caroline, hi Lynn. Just seen you pop up. Or Steve just told me you popped up. Right, let's go. So, seated. You can still get a bit of speed on there. Okay, if you're nice and able. Are we ready? I'm going to show you the extended one, obviously with no weight, seated to start with. Right, are we ready? 3, 2, 1. You are at your position. Okay, so up, out, in, down. So if you are able to get a little bit of more speed, you're going to get some nice movement. Just clench your fists, even if you've got no weights. Clench your fists, keep those shoulders back and down. Sit yourself up nice and tall if you're seated. Okay, so don't forget, it's up, out, in, down, up, out, your pace. I'm just showing you it faster so that you realise that you can actually move that bit quicker. Okay? Okay, so this is the last one on this one. So we're going to get a little bit of pace on now. 5 seconds. Ready for this last round. Okay, up, out, in, down, up, out, in, down. Nice straight arms. Straight back, stand up nice and tall, suck that tummy in. If you're seated, suck that tummy in. Okay, sit yourself up nice and tall. Last few seconds. Okay, rest. Okay, grab yourself a drink. I'll show you the next one. I'll show you it seated first. So this one we are going to do a snatch. So I'm still going to use my tin. Okay, but you can still do it. You can still do it body weight. Okay, so you're going to sit up nice and tall. Suck your tummy in. Okay. All we're going to do is you're going to drop your weight or your hand down. Okay. And then as you're coming up, you're going to turn and come straight up to the top. Okay, so it's not a rotation out like we did with the Saturday Night Fevers. This is in line with your body, straight up. So this is called a snatch. Okay, so it's coming straight up. Okay, so if you're limited mobility, you're just going to bring that arm up as far as you can. So even if it's a drop down to here and up. Okay, if you are more able, okay, and I know some of you guys that train with me you are going to make this a squat to snatch, okay? So rather than swinging, if you've got a kettlebell, you can swing and snatch it up. If not, you're going to take your weight down, drop it down into that squat, then you're going to drive it up from that standing, like we used to do with the dumbbell squats, for those of you training with me, driving it up. Drive up. Drive up, okay? So we're going to do 30 seconds one arm, 30 seconds the other. Okay, so you're going to go, if you've got really light weights, you can really start to pace this through. Okay, are we ready? I'm going to show you the seated one first without any weight at all. Okay, but if you're more able, you're going to start at wherever your level is. Okay, we're ready. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So seated, you're just going to reach down, reach up, reach down to wherever you can, okay? So if you can't drive up your shoulder up very far, even if you just come to here, it's just getting that movement, okay? So it's a pull up, leading with your elbow if you can, okay? But if you're a little bit more able, you can lean it forward, drop your arm down, drive up. Keep chest nice and tall. Okay, we're going to change sides. 20 seconds rest, we're going to change sides. Okay, so I'm going to show you this with a weighted standing. Mind out, Fred, or else you're going to get bopped on the nose, mate. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so squatting it down, drive up. Take it straight back down. If you've got a light weight, you can really start to pump this through. So you can see how much I'm getting out of here. My poor tins will be shook to pieces. Last few seconds, drive it. Okay, rest. We have got 2 more sets of those to do. Okay, so I'm going to show you seated with a weight first time. Then I'm going to show you an easier version for standing if you're not quite as able. Okay? Just give it an extra couple of seconds. Ready? Get your breath back if you've been cardioing it through. So it's going to give you a nice workout. Okay? So, are we ready? I'm going to show you the seated version with the weight this time, but you're going to stay at whatever ability you're at. Are we ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, you're going to drop it down, drive up. Drop down, drive up. Okay, if you can reach it down as well, keeping your chest up, as long as you're not collapsing down. And that goes for you standing as well. Squatting it down, driving up. Chest or high. Nice flat back. Sucking that tummy in. Last few seconds. Okay, and then I'm going to show you an easier version. So if you're struggling with a full squat, okay, but you want to stand, you can just take this into pushing your hips back, okay? So all you do is just push your hips back to drop that hand down, so it's really slight, and come up, like your kettlebell swing. So push your hips back, straighten your legs. So there's not much of a bend in the leg there. Okay, so I can show you that. Not much bend in the leg. If you're struggling with your knees, you can just hinge it back. So hinge and drive up. Okay, so if you have got a kettlebell, you would know this from the swing of the kettlebell. Okay, rest. Okay, we've got 1 more set of those to do. Oh, I'm blowing this morning. So, are we ready for that last set? Okay, so again, I'm going to show the body weight, the easiest version seated, and then we're going to go for the easy version again on the standing. Okay, but you're going to stay wherever you are. You're going to match. Sorry, I'm obviously Information Central this morning. You can hear my phone ringing there. Right, are we ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, good. So you're just going to take this to wherever you can. Okay, you're just leaning forward so the arms dropping down and up. Dropping down and up. Okay, try and keep those shoulders back. Okay, so your chest is nice and tall. Last few seconds. Okay. I'm going to show you that hinge version again, which you guys who can't bother with me will know. If not, it's just saving the knees a bit, because it's your hinge at your hip is only giving you a slight knee bend. It's not pushing the knees forward, it's giving it under pressure, okay? So it's that hinge at the hip and up, hinge at the hip and up, hinge and up, hinge and up. And I say, if you haven't got any weight, you're just going to hinge, stand up, hinge, stand up, hinge, stand up. Last 10 seconds on this one. Okay, rest. Okay, so grab yourselves a drink. What we are going to do to finish, we are going to do 3 lots. I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this so it runs 3 lots together. Okay. Right, let's do this 4, 6. So we're going to go straight after each other. You're going to do 30-second Saturday Night Fevers on each side. You are then going to do your up, out, in, down twice. Okay? And then you are going to do your snatch on one side, snatch on the other as a full circuit. Okay, so we're going to go for 6 rounds. 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off, so you won't get your extra rest in between. And let's see how we go with that. Update. Right. So we're starting with those Saturday Night Fevers. So you remember those. It's where you're rotating this time. So you're rotating. Okay, so we're rotating onto that lunge, onto that floor. Okay, are we ready? Let's give it a go straight through. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, dropping it down, rotating up. Drop down, rotate up. Okay, so the arms coming across the body, getting that rotation in that upper body. Chest high, sit, tummy sucked in, back nice and flat. Okay, so standing. Arm in the air, ready. Okay, feet facing forward, feet nice and wide, so you can pivot on those feet to drop that knee down. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Dropping it down, opposite foot to opposite hand. Driving it across, rotate. So this is rotation. Whole body. Keeping that chest nice and high, tummy sucked in. Back nice and flat. Don't collapse it down and bend down. Drop that knee. Okay? If you're struggling to drop the knee, you're just going to tap your wrist or tap your in knee. Okay? Right, we are ready. Are you ready with your weights? We're going to come up and down. Up, out, in, down. Okay? Do go seated first. 5 seconds.
Jane Burnham.
Okay, up, out, in, down, up, out, in, down, up, out, in, down, up, out. So you can go as fast or as slow, depending on your weight and your ability. Okay, and if you're standing or seated, suck that tummy in. Last few seconds. Steve just said, hello Jane, haven't seen you for a long time, hope you're well. Okay, so if you are more able and you're standing nice and tall, okay, squeeze those bum cheeks, squeeze that tummy in, depending on what weights you've got is how fast you're going to go. Okay, up, out, in, down, up, out, in, down. So you can get this pace if you can. If not, if your weights are heavier, obviously you're going to be taking it slower. That's why we're doing the time, so you can do what you need to do. Last few seconds. Okay, so, and the last bit for today is going to be that snatch round. So one on each side, 30 seconds on each side. Are we ready? 5 seconds. So, if you can, I'm going to show you the full one. Get down to that squat and drive up. Okay, squat, drive up, squat, drive up. If you can, if not, you're just going to hinge, or if you're seated, you're just dropping the arm down. Last few seconds. So you can still drive this through, even if you haven't got a weight. Okay, you're going to change arms. Okay, you're going to show you the seated one. Okay, chest nice and high. Last 30 seconds. Are we ready to go? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Driving it up. Drop it down. Drive up. Okay, so try not to collapse into that drop, into that bend forward. Just using your chest, hinging at the hip if you're seated. Okay, so if you need to be seated, that's fine. You can still do all these. We're nearly there, guys. We're nearly there. Last few seconds. And rest. Grab yourselves a drink, guys. We'll just have a little bit of a stretch off. A movement just to get things cooled down. So do keep your hydration up. It will make you feel better. Okay. So we're just going to give those shoulders a roll. Okay, roll them back. Back and down. Okay, so you can catch up with some of the other videos on YouTube channel. Obviously, you can look back on Facebook if you want to look at any more of the sessions. Okay, and I'm going to give those legs a shake. Just flicking the feet, so you can still do this seated. Just give those legs a little bit of a shake, lift them up. Okay, and then whether you're seated or standing, all you're going to do is just going to hinge forward and let those arms go. You're going to go as far as you can. Keep that back nice and flat. Hold it there. Give those arms a wiggle. Give those hips a wiggle. Okay, so if you're in your chair, you can shuffle about on your chair, just leaning forward. Okay, then you're going to roll it up. Head comes up last. Okay, because blood's still pumping around. So we're going to take the hands and take the fists into the smaller back and really gently. We're just going to lean back, just to stretch those hip flexors, just stretch that back a little bit. Okay, don't try not to crank the neck too far back. Try and keep it all in line. Okay, give yourselves chappessies, and we will see you later in the week. Cheers!